It's never a waste of time to make time for the truth. A moment spent listening and paying attention to the truth can change your life. So let's take a moment for the truth. Psalms 119:82 says, "My eyes fail with longing for your word, while I say, when will you comfort me?" I don't know if you've ever visited a natural cave. You don't have to be a spelunker to experience one. There are many caves open to tourists to visit, especially in my area. I well remember the first time I visited such a cave. We were well into the cave when the guide stopped and he told us to hold on to a nearby rail. Then he turned off the lights. And it was a darkness unlike anything I'd ever experienced. You literally could not see your hand in front of your face. Well, we're continuing the journey through this section of verses that's the dark night of the psalmist. As I mentioned in the last episode, that darkness is in fact the context for this entire 8-verse section. Today's verse actually begins with the same word as the last verse. Here it's translated fail. The reason for the difference in the translation is the addition of the word eyes. It's the writer's way of saying that his eyes have given out. They've reached their end. Again, this brings the image of the darkness that surrounds him. And in that darkness, his failing eyes direct themselves, it says, to your word. Now, in the previous verse, the writer used a word that was translated word, which implies something spoken or heard. Now, in this verse, a different word is used in the original language. And while it does carry the meaning of a spoken word, it points here more to a direction, a commandment. You see, here the writer is blinded in darkness and he desires direction. The direction from God is where he turns in the blinding darkness. It's the unchanging reference when all other references are hidden. This time of darkness is not a quickly passing event for the writer. It's not a passing obstacle. I know this by the ending phrase. Listen to the ending phrase. It says, while I say, when will you comfort me? It's not difficult to understand this phrase. If you've ever been in a somewhat similar situation, you know how time drags and it slows. You just want it to be over. But the writer makes it clear that the only source of comfort is the Lord. It's not unlike Paul's plea concerning his thorn in the flesh. In 2 Corinthians 12, 8 and 9a, he says, concerning this, I implored the Lord 3 times that it might leave me. And he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for power is perfected in weakness. The Lord who gave sight to the blind knows the hearts who long for him in the darkest times. If that's you today, call out to him. Listen for his directions. Do it today. It only takes a moment, but it will be a moment that will matter. Thanks for watching and listening to Truth Matters Moment. Also, don't forget to look for our weekly podcast called Truth Matters. It comes out every Wednesday. Catch you later.